What is the number one way men and women, heterosexual couples, are contracting HIV?
Penetrative, unprotected.
It's not through a cut. You're saying it's secretion. I feel like we always thought it was a viral blood disease. She's a 10, but she thinks PrEP is a little gay.
So one, I'm not insecure about my... That's an opportunity to educate. It's amazing the amount of people who still think, which is a crazy stigma, that it's only for gay people or, LGBTQ.
Me, the guy, the woman, we all had to share our recent results. And when I told my friends that, the conversations were like, what do you mean? Y'all were vibing and you didn't go back with them because they wanted your results? Do they think you're dirty? When I was telling my friends, we're going to plan to play after we all get tested, when I tell you those conversations were like, what? Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Decisions. I'm your girl, Mindy B.
I'm Wheezy. Y'all, we have a great episode for you today. Over the years, you've heard us talk about a lot of conversations about STD. We've had some confusion, but you know what? We've learned. It's been almost a decade and we're still learning. So this episode, I'm actually excited to get my myth busted. But y'all have heard us also talk about Gilead. I've been doing the risky dinners with them for the last 5 or 6 years. Mandy and I came with Gilead to Essence, and they actually introduced us to our guest today. Let me give you the real intro, sister. I want to make it feel like you on a real daytime TV show.
I'll be damned.
And you better look at us. You over there looking at yourself on the monitor.
Yeah, nobody said where to go.
We're right here.
Here. Stop looking like.
Damn.
Okay.
You want to watch us on TV? We right in front of you, girl.
Here we go. Dr. Danielle M. Campbell is an HIV prevention, treatment, and care researcher and community organizer for the HIV, AIDS, and sexual and reproductive health rights. Just as you did a typo on this.
Maybe not.
Anyway, she know a lot. And we are so glad to have you. You do a lot of awareness policies and campaigns. And so, we would love to have conversations with you today just about the stigmas around HIV, the stigmas around STD, learning how to get prevention, learning how to get it and not be told no, as we heard Mandy, her experience years ago.
Years ago. I'm now on that thing. But also just a couple weeks ago, if you guys tune into our Wednesday drops, you got decisions. When Asante came on with me, shout out to Asante. We had a listener write in and say that she found the PrEP medication in her boyfriend's medicine cabinet. And it was just really interesting, the conversations that, shout out to our patrons that dropped below, because there was a conversation around it being that he dealt with men or was promiscuous. And so there was just, I really loved the back and forth conversation around why someone may want to get on it. Because y'all know me, I'm still waiting for my bisexual husband. So I'm fine with, everybody loving everybody.
He's
but
probably
I also
watching right now, but him and his boyfriend aren't sure.
No.
If they're going to be together?
No. Or he with his girlfriend. And maybe they just a little together. You know what I mean? I don't know. But for me, being super in open to dating a person who's fluid, I think going to clubs, I think also being very aware of casual and how many people just out here don't want to use condoms.
Yeah, okay.
I'm very just aware of everything. And so PrEP has been something that I've talked about on this pod now for a few years.
I'm so
now
happy
Now I'm on it. Now I'm waiting for the 2 shots that I hear is out here.
You have to keep us updated on your journey to get it.
Yes, because and I'll talk to you off of here, and I wanted to share it. Guys, if you are listening to this episode, go to the description. If you're in New York City, there are now 2 shots, and I'm going to share the 4 locations that were given to me that are giving them out. So look in the description of this episode if you're curious about getting it. We're going to put it there.
And also, even just beyond, I feel like we all know condom. But even beyond that, I think that's why the PrEP conversation is so good, because
Absolutely.
One, people forget, condoms can break. And at the end of the day, sometimes we're lit, they don't happen, whatever the case is. If it's not 100%, at least you've got this backup. And I love having the conversation about PrEP because for years, we've heard our male gay friends talk about it. And now we get to have the conversation for our number 1 demo, Black women, and all our other sisters in there, 27 Caucasians. Okay.
Oh Lord, not the 27 Caucasians.
We've been joking. We got 27 white listeners.
Since year one. That's about, but it's way more than that now.
I think so.
Oh, it's way more than that.
It's 35. So, all right, we're gonna do a little practice with the both of you. Okay. So Mandy actually had just said to us on an episode, she was basically saying this guy was like, all right, how many times until we to not use a condom?
Oh yeah.
And I think we need to do a little role play on even before it gets there. So here we go, both of you.
Okay, go.
Scenarios on how to make asking for test results less awkward. So, previous partner you've had in the past spins the block.
Mm-hmm.
Before in the past, you guys have shared results. He says, baby, you just got tested though.
Mm-hmm.
You good. I ain't been with nobody anyway, so I'm good too, right? What is your response?
Can I see your my chart?
Can I see your my chart? Just immediately.
Can I see your my chart?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Off tease up. We would have had a conversation. You have to have a conversation, right? You have to feel empowered to ask folks about their sexual health history. It's important. It's an important component of empowerment, and it's just something that we should normalize as we talk about.
I agree with the my chart, but Mandy has said, maybe it was like a year ago, something like, if you don't know what my chart is, like, you ain't got the language. And I kind of agree. Because across the city, I'm being a little
empowered.
Spirit.
Empowered.
I would say everybody pretty much knows my chart.
You know what's crazy? No.
No, I mean for the lifestyle people.
For lifestyle people.
Yeah.
And I think for the people that are not, a lot of my friends do not get tested.
Okay, so
a lot of men, majority of our listeners, I would even say, don't know what my chart is. Okay. The casual person, the person who's in relationships, the person who's not in the lifestyle, I don't think gets tested as often. I don't think they know what my chart is to just ask it like that.
Okay.
Like I shared last year, I was wanting to be a unicorn. Okay. And I dated a couple and we all went out and they were like, well, recent test results are necessary before we play. Mind you, also, when I did end up playing with them, condoms were used still. Okay. But before we all literally, me, the guy, the woman, we all had to share our recent results. Mm-hmm. And when I told my friends that, the conversations were like, what do you mean? So like y'all were vibing and you didn't go back with them because they wanted your results? Do they think you're dirty? And that's always the conversation too. But when I was telling my friends, we're going to plan to play after we all get tested, when I tell you those conversations were like, what? Bitch? Like, I know as sex positive as I am, as long as I've had this podcast, my closest friends, I can say my chart and they would say, what is that?
Wow. So even aside from conversations around sexual health, your lab results, your plans of care, all of those things are part of your my chart.
You know what's crazy? They know whether they need fibroid removal. Like a lot of
that
them
would be
are
in
like,
your my chart.
Up on their reproductive health. But I guess when they go and get checked for that, sometimes they get checked for the other things as well.
Sometimes it's fucking wild.
I think once a year is probably the average of most women because they're getting their results when they get their PAP, right?
Yeah.
But even PAPs,
the recommendations around PAP, have changed. So it's not annual. But part of the conversation we should be having around sexual health, reproductive health is just what we're saying. Normalizing.
It doesn't matter if you had only one sexual partner in the last 3 months. Like it's every 3 months. And if I do a little too much, I'm like,
what's a little too much?
Like hedonism. Okay. So I went and was like, let me make sure everything is in the clear. But
good job.
It's crazy because one of the questions asked, especially when I go to Planned Parenthood, Trump, you fucking orange Cheeto bitch. You better stop fucking with the goddamn funding, okay? God damn it. I love Planned Parenthood. I think is that where I got my abortion when I was 16? I don't know. But for everything that I get done, one of the questions asked often is, do you have any symptoms of any STDs? Like, what is your reason for coming in? And it's crazy because having that conversation with the provider yesterday, I'm an open book, but I can understand how kind of like alarming a lot of the questions are. They ask like men, women, how many partners, how often do you have sex? Like a lot of the questions, even for me, when I was like, damn, bitch, I just went to heat this and I'm putting
Well,
like,
put it on there.
oh, I did.
So you get a proper assessment and
I
treatment.
understand.
Now that's what we listen and we don't judge.
The
I understand
period.
how many people could be like not want to share
Yeah.
those questions. And so if, and this is just me telling you, if you don't even have symptoms, if your pee is right, you ain't itching, you ain't scratching,
That's it.
still go and get tested because there are a lot of us who can be asymptomatic.
Yep.
Where you don't know. And another thing too, because I always have to request it, when you go and get tested for the things, you have to ask for trick. Trick is one of the tricky ones, y'all.
Damn it.
Trick be out here tricking you bitches.
I see.
But
Trick is tricky,
what
huh?
is it? Trichinosis?
Trichomoniasis.
Trichomoniasis.
Mhm.
But there's both, right? Or are we just saying it wrong?
Is trichomoniasis?
Trichinosis? Trichomoniasis? They're
That's
not
it.
two different things.
Is that not?
No.
Is trichinosis?
Oh, we
a
just
thing?
been calling it trichinosis.
What is trichinosis?
Oh wait,
We've
when you
been
said,
calling
what
it
is
trichinosis.
Let's girl get the
Hold
color.
on. I just know trick, bitch. And it's trick with a CH.
But the rest of the word,
Trichotillomania?
no, not sure what
That
that
sounds like a
is.
theme park.
Right?
What is that? Oh, a disorder that involves recurrent, irresistible, or just the pull out body hair.
Oh,
That
shit.
is something completely.
Not kink of the week.
That is giving kink of the week.
What is going on up
No,
here?
it's trichomoniasis, bitch. We've been saying it wrong.
That's okay.
See what I mean, y'all?
That's okay.
Yeah, they knew TRICH.
You got it.
See, that's why we got Danielle here now.
You got it.
You
You got
said,
it.
what is
We
trichinosis,
listen
bitch?
and we don't
So,
judge.
I want
It's
y'all to
a
kill-
moment to educate. I smooth is like, huh?
Ask for
Yeah.
the trick test, though, y'all.
Yes.
And let me tell you, the HIV test too, because they ain't finna test you for
Yeah.
that motherfucker. Let's
And they
dig
said,
into it
though.
a little bit. Would you rather?
Okay, let's go.
Would you rather tell the public you're on Ozempic, or tell the public you're on PrEP?
Prep.
I'm not gonna lie, it's easier to tell people a weight loss drug than PrEP,
Damn.
especially
Why?
because, like, first off, I say it all the time. We have men who aren't able to live in their best selves, and Black women are a part of that
Mhm.
because we don't provide a safe space for them to live out.
Oh,
in
that's
their truth.
inflammatory.
I don't give a fuck. They
Mhm.
don't. And so,
Are you saying all Black women? Because you said Black
no.
women like,
I mean, I would say majority.
Definitely not Black women.
I would say no, not all, but majority.
okay.
But I know you talk about your friends all the time saying that, like, and this is a conversation too, when we were getting into it, I'm like, I feel like it's the majority. I feel like the majority aren't having the conversation. I feel like the majority are blaming gay men. And I know you haven't had many of those experiences because of your
Ooh.
friends.
Oh,
But-
no. They are,
No, you said my friends are in the lifestyle, my friends are
No,
this.
they're not. Like, a lot of my friends are not. A lot of my friends don't know what my chart is. I'm in the lifestyle, but when I talk about my friends, my circle of non-lifestyle groups of people, no, I said most of my friends don't know what my chart is and judged me because
No. I was talking in regards to the conversation of like, we're saying safe space.
Yeah.
And we've even had this conversation like a year ago where you're like, I'm not having this experience. For me, over the last few years of working with Risky and Gilead in a room full of influencers. So if no one's heard me talk about this, it's a dinner where we invite a bunch of Black women influencers to pretty much educate them and the public and their followers on HIV prevention for Black women, specifically doing this in cities where the rates are high amongst Black women.
At your next one, I want you to ask people about my chart and bring it back anecdotally.
That's a good one. I don't know if we've ever done that.
Right.
But I'll
Ask
pull mine
about
up.
my chart.
wait,
Follow
so
up.
you would rather tell people that you're on PrEP over saying you're on a weight loss drug?
Yep.
I just think we've normalized weight loss drugs now, and unfortunately, like we just talked about with my chart, there's not a normalization.
I think it's culture dependent.
But so this is
Okay.
why I wanted to go
go
to this dinner.
Go for it.
The reason I think that it's a lot easier for the weight loss drug
Mhm.
is 90% of the time at these dinners, the conversation surrounding HIV prevention is geared towards women that are sexually promiscuous
Mhm.
and or living in a city. Oh, y'all should have seen the Atlanta dinner.
Oh shit. I can imagine.
It was like, well, these niggas out here lying. Every single one, there is someone blaming the men they're sleeping with. Well, duh, bitch, he ain't got to be fucking another man. If you fucking a man or you fucking a woman and you end up getting it, like, are we just under the accusation that Black women are only sleeping with men that have sex with men, which isn't true.
No.
HIV prevention starts with you. And also, keeping it clear to anybody listening, we're encouraging you to get tested. This is so you know your status.
Yeah.
It's not a death sentence. We have so much language around it today. Let's just figure out and know. That way you're not getting sick. That way it's not turning into something else. Like, knowing your status is the most powerful thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we've all heard someone be like, I don't want to get tested yet. I don't even want to know. I don't want to ruin my week.
But there's the thing, though. We have to provide the framework for people to get to a place that they can get tested, right? You just described challenges that you've had in the healthcare system around getting tested and access to PrEP. Imagine as an advocate who is out and about and in the streets and empowered.
I'm in the streets, bitch. Calm
You
down.
said you was in the streets.
down,
You
girl.
literally just said you was
I'm in the sheets.
Okay, in the sheets in the streets.
Yeah, in these streets.
But the point
Girl, I got 4
is,
boyfriends.
Girl, you on a boat. You was telling us shit like
Hey, I was telling the bitch want to be demure.
Y'all go over the
Are we
Patreon and
demure?
hear- First off, I had other bitches suck the dick. I stopped sucking the dick.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, go to
Okay.
Patreon and hear the story. But
But
yes,
the point is, right, we shouldn't assume that people are empowered enough or educated enough about these systems of care that can put them in a place to be tested. So as we talk about testing, we have to talk about all the other systematic structures that are in place that prevent people from getting tested.
I think they just don't
Stigma
want to,
is
so they
one.
think it sounds
but,
crazy.
but from a psychological standpoint, I
Stigma
will
is
say,
huge.
I now go get tested. Like when I first was getting tested with my little hoe ass, I used to be
Damn.
nervous. I used to think about, okay, which nigga gave me something? One of these gonna be.
oh, I don't care.
but
I'm
was-
nervous every time.
No,
bro.
but, I was gonna say I'm not nervous anymore.
I could have sex with nobody new, and there's something about knowing you got
That white coat,
I
you
need
know
a-
you have to atone.
Bitch, once I put that little pea cup through that window, I'd be like, okay, how long gonna be? Don't let me do it on a Friday and these bitches don't get back to me till Tuesday. Let's
Oh, no,
speed it
you-
up.
whole
you should've
weekend
seen-
shot.
You should have seen me yesterday. I actually had fun doing my little swab. Y'all know when you used to have to get swabbed in your nose? Bitch, I took that little Q-tip in my pussy and I said, oh, I was just twirling it.
But see, we
swirling
talked
it.
about this.
I was
There
like,
should have
real
been
I've
two
never
other
taken
sites.
self-swab. Okay, so we gonna talk
There
about that
should have
too
been two other
because
sites.
apparently she telling me, bitch, you could still be dirty. So
No,
we
I don't
would-
think I said the word dirty.
No, well, sorry, we're not using the word dirty.
We are not.
But bitch, you could still have something because they didn't do all the swabs.
What
so
I said was there should be three sites
and
swapped.
mind you, I have never been swabbed 3 times. So we had the conversation last night.
Interesting.
Tell me the correct way, because apparently I got the wrong way. But what is the correct way, or what should we advocate for when we go and get tested? Because you let me know something new.
Right. If you
that I
know you're
didn't know.
doing the things and putting things in places, there should be a swab for all of the place you put something.
Now I haven't put nothing but a butt plug in my ass, so I'm good for my ass, right? I ain't had anal sex this
Now,
last
we
quarter.
haven't had a test run, so I can't confirm or deny.
Oh, goddamn! You,
She said,
I ain't never
we
looked
need
at my- you know
medical
what's crazy?
expertise.
I've never tested my asshole.
What?
So
I actually
so
haven't either.
I just
Girl,
found
go
out.
in there, tell them put a swab in your butt.
So
How
the
deep
swab
will it
should
go?
go. The swab should go. You said
in your throat.
in all of your holes, essentially.
Correct.
Yo,
Everywhere something could go.
I've never had a throat swab, only blood and urine and
Why?
the culture
Don't you
swab.
put penises in your throat?
But
And
no,
do.
I'm literally saying I've actually never been offered the throat swab.
Yeah.
That's part of the issue that we're saying when you talk about differential care. Care should be universal. Sexual health care should be standard across the board. Wherever something goes, a swab should follow.
That's great to know.
Well, and even
have you ever had someone offer?
well,
the throat?
I know that that's been the conversation recently.
Again, it goes
is
back
that
to stigma.
well, chlamydia has been being found in a lot of people's throats now,
Mhm.
and baby, you going to the doctor thinking you got strep. Strep ain't coming. COVID ain't coming. It might. And I don't think you're right. I think there's a lot of healthcare providers that don't even think to.
It's their
That's-
own patriarchy. It's their own
Okay.
perceptions about what women do. It shouldn't be about your
No, they know we sucking
presumption.
dick.
But if you sucking a penis that went in a butt,
Okay.
hello, let's
Okay.
swab the throat. Let's
Not
swab
ass
the
to
butt.
mouth. That's my favorite part.
Okay, no, I'm not trying. We listen and we don't judge. All I'm saying is follow up the ass
No,
to mouth
I be judging.
with a
But
swab.
yeah.
What other
Period.
STDs can be found in the mouth? Like I said, I only know of chlamydia, but
Just
what
swab,
other
friend. Just swab. Just
well,
ask
what
them
else
to swab.
what else could live in your throat that maybe you would test positive for?
I think so. If you're not testing or if you're not swabbing your oral cavities, right, then there is a possibility of STIs to live in those places,
Mm.
right? I think that's the message.
Okay.
So let's advocate.
Brushing isn't enough. Brushing your teeth after is not enough, she said.
Or
peeing and brushing your teeth
what
after.
people say, you used to just do a little mouthwash and then run it.
By the way, I did look it up because y'all know I love my husband. Shout out to Chet. So in your throat, gonorrhea, chlamydia, syphilis. The main ones that you get tested for, those are the main
Except
three. Trick can Trick actually rarely infects the throat. And mycoplasma also very rare to.
And this is also why sex workers put condoms on penises during oral sex too. A lot of times, I was reading that like it was up to comfort, but when documenting at a brothel, was it Moonlight? Maybe I'm getting that from Cat House back in the day. But anyway,
what's Cat House?
Girl.
What's Cat House?
One of the best television shows of all time.
Tell me.
It's covers a brothel.
Is it recent?
In Nevada. No, it's not.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And the owner died. He would have definitely been a Trumpito. But anyway, when covering this brothel, I only went 2 years ago.
Cat what?
It was Cat House.
Cat House. Okay, I'm on it. Okay, go.
So I covered this brothel on Sex Sells, and they basically talked about how no matter what, condoms are used. Back in the day, they used to say, okay, oral sex maybe without, someone can pay a certain price, but always condoms during sex. But they're like, no, because we're talking about open sores here, stuff that we can't see on the penis. They do what's called DCs, dick checks. So basically before taking a client, they're like looking at the penis to ensure that it's got nothing on it. But that's still not enough for these
We all
women,
got to do dick checks, bro.
Yeah, we do need to do the DCs. Okay. Oh my God. And I did
but
one
with the visual
on TV.
inspection.
Y'all, it was crazy.
Okay.
She was showing
If you about to put it in your mouth, your eyes is right there.
Okay.
You should be looking at the dick.
By the way, you know why we really need to look?
Tell me.
Because HPV is really genital warts, but for some reason it just sounds a little better. HSV, right? No. Genital warts is different. HSV, we're talking about the mouth. So HPV turning into genital warts now because men can't get tested for HPV, right? So women can. And the problem with that is that they really don't know their status. But they've been fucking all these women raw, as we know.
But there's the assumption. If you clean, then I'm clean.
And guess what?
But that puts the responsibility on the woman.
That's no ingrown, bitch.
Oh.
So back to the Ozempic thing.
Okay, yeah.
This conversation, right? It's always getting chaotic. It's always turning into this thing. I'm telling you right now, if we hosted a dinner on keeping fit and weight loss, bet you no one would bat an eye and scream about Ozempic. It is something that we have all felt like is understandable. At some point, everyone struggled with their weight, their mamas, somebody. We have the weight conversation throughout our life as women, hormones, whatever. When it comes to sexual health, that's the one that we're quiet about. And I really do believe telling someone you're on Ozempic versus telling them you're on PrEP would make them, quote unquote, judge you less. You're getting judged either way.
Yeah. I think the weight loss one, though, like a lot of my homegirls, and I'm going to speak generally, a lot of my homegirls would rather not take Ozempic. I had a homegirl who did the sleeve. She was 100% anti-Ozempic. Same for me. I've struggled with weight loss, and recently I've been on my shit. But it was weight loss associated with a dissertation. I'm not even gonna hold you.
You said school was stressing me out.
Oh my God, took me to within an inch of my life. But folks are just not pro. Let's do this Ozempic thing, because when you look at all of the potential negative health outcomes that have not been studied in women, we know more about PrEP from the science than we do Ozempic. And you see a lot of folks, when this shit started really popping off with Ozempic, who were lying, like, oh, this is me, this is the gym. And then 30 minutes later, they're on the podcast or on a news segment talking about, well, it actually was the Ozempic and the gym.
Oh, yeah, we saw Oprah go from Weight Watchers to Ozempic.
So let's get into an Essence article, because it's cuffing season right now. It's getting a little chilly.
It is.
And it's time to cuddle. Mandy got 4 niggas to cuddle with, but what do you bitches
No,
have?
I don't. It's all long distance. Oh. You know, everybody, I ain't got not nan nigga in Atlanta. We are.
Why not? I thought you said you was looking for a bisexual babe.
You know, I am.
What happened?
I am. But I ain't found one in Atlanta I like yet.
Okay,
I'm very picky.
Okay.
I would love someone local. I would love someone local, but right now everybody is scattered and we travel to each other.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, no, I ain't. I'm gonna be cuddling with Bodie. I'm gonna be cuddling with my cat this fall.
So
drinking my pumpkin spice.
All right.
Here are the top 10 cities for Black singles to find love.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to give you these cities, and then we're going to tell you where the HIV rates are actually the highest, which is kind of crazy.
Okay.
Because They're
So
almost
you're starting with the top 10 cities that's best for single Black women?
to find love. Yeah.
Okay.
Black singles. Doesn't say black singles. So number 10, bottom of the list, Dallas, Texas.
I believe that.
9, Philly. 8,
I don't want to know.
Detroit.
Detroit got some. They be generous in Detroit.
Damn.
Oh my God, yeah, sure.
Generous in which regard?
They be generous with the money.
Okay.
And
Okay.
they about to pull out the furs, y'all. Detroit got them one.
And you know what else too?
Noted.
First
Yes.
place the house too. They got it.
Okay.
Follow
Noted.
me to Detroit.
Okay.
Detroit got them ones. Who
All
else?
right.
So Atlanta, number 7.
Yeah.
I think you know why they say that. I think it's
Why?
just so many Black people in Atlanta. But I ain't
Yeah.
gonna hold you.
I'm interested
My
to know
homegirls
where
that
these.
found love in Atlanta,
Uh-huh.
they found them in other cities. My homegirl, she was driving to get her man in Birmingham.
Damn.
They a lot
Brought
of
him
them.
out the backwoods.
Oh, not only that. The thing about that is, if you find love in Atlanta, you sharing him with somebody else.
There's too many beautiful
With
Black
somebody
women. They don't know how to be. It's hard. You walk down the street, you go to a cafe, like, I love shits and gigs, but they were wrong.
In Atlanta is
Shits
big.
and gigs, girl.
No, they said that the girls weren't in Atlanta. But I'm gonna tell you this.
You talk about people who don't even live here.
Right.
Commenting on it. Like, get on my face.
Because there is a club culture of Atlanta. There is a subculture of Atlanta of the love and hip hop attitude with men and women. But you walk down the street in Atlanta, you're not gonna not see a bad bitch. Number 6, Baltimore. I actually really believe this one.
Which one?
Baltimore. Bitch.
Why
Baltimore to Krishan Rock.
Why?
And then
Everything I
Washington.
done seen out of Baltimore is tricky.
But let me tell you why I
Bam,
believe this. DC is number 5
I
because
like DC.
they end up going to Baltimore to buy their house
Okay.
and they ready to wife you up.
Now them hoes go to Virginia. They go to Maryland. When you get up to Baltimore, I don't know
Maryland.
about Baltimore.
Maryland. for
Maryland.
sure.
Maryland.
Maryland. So
DMV.
number 4 is Charlotte.
What?
Number 3.
Charlotte got some ones. I follow some niggas on Instagram from Charlotte.
Well, you
But they
have to send them
friends,
to
and I'm
me.
like, which one? They in a little
You
run
have to
club.
send
They
them
cute.
to
maybe
me.
it's too.
They
too
cute in
small.
Charlotte.
Number
Okay.
3 is New York, which
What?
I believe it. I'm not gonna hold you.
Chocolate.
Dating in New York. Now it might get tough because there's a lot of volume, like in Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
But there's a lot of motherfuckers in New York.
Wow.
Bitch, go outside. You've had the summer. If you wasn't at a black party, what the fuck was you doing?
Probably sleep.
Get your ass out the house. Wake up. Hope.
Mhm.
Number 2,
Okay.
Chicago, and number 1,
Chicago got them ones too.
Houston,
Damn.
Texas. Now, what's crazy about Houston, Texas, is I remember going to Risky over there, and they said that was some of the highest rates for Black women with HIV. And like
Florida didn't make the list at all for Black singles?
for love, no bitch.
For Black singles, we
Who
all moving
conducted
out.
this survey?
Where would you think Black singles in Florida?
I don't know. Maybe Miami?
No, they all speak Spanish.
7 of
They
these
still
cities have the highest rates of HIV in the
Okay.
country, by the way. That's because the dick is good and you forget to put the condom on. So let me tell you the cities that don't.
They're
on the
also
list.
Republican. They also have no
that part,
comprehensive sex
They
ed.
don't.
Like, let's say all of the things.
Facts. So Charlotte, Detroit, and Dallas are the only ones with the low rates in from that list, which is crazy when you think about it because it's like Texas to me, especially with like the reversal of Roe v. Wade, people just not wanting even to walk into a Planned Parenthood, all of that shit. I know a lot of them aren't really getting tested. The rates have gone down in Texas as well. So, but Dallas maybe because more white people on there. I don't know.
Uh-oh.
I love Dallas.
You did
Really?
Why? What do they have with it?
I just love Dallas.
We have a lot of
I
fans, so I want to shout out.
I love just the city,
Shout out to Dallas,
how it
apparently.
feels. I go every Thanksgiving, even though I might not go this year for Thanksgiving because she got a baby and might be at his house this week.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, but just love Dallas.
Out of
Love it.
these, oh sorry.
Oh wait, shout out to Wolf. You from Dallas, right? We've talked about
Oh,
Dallas.
wow.
Be
Not up
damn
here with a
right.
cowboy
Oh,
shirt at 10 o'clock.
And he got a cowboy shirt on.
Oh,
and
my
dude,
God.
Now, where out of these cities have y'all had some luck in dating?
all of them. I had a nigga in every last one of them cities.
I think I've had everything.
But that's why
but
I said
Chicago.
Detroit, Chicago.
Not
Chicago
Detroit.
got
Not
Or
Detroit.
Philly.
Detroit man is that. and
Philly?
Chicago.
Philly, I'll tell you this though.
Oh wait, I'm not gonna. I never had a Philly guy.
You get you a little roots picnic type of nigga that read over there in Philly. Shout out to Uncle Bobby's. They be reading in Philly.
Wow.
They have a
No, they don't
conscious
like pork.
rapper vibe. To
Yeah, that's
them.
why I don't like it. I told y'all I ain't doing the Muslims no more.
Why not?
Oh, my
What would
God.
you want?
What?
What happened?
They
You
just
just be saying stuff.
We
You
have
don't give us
we
the
have
background.
different. types of Muslim men in New York.
You
Okay.
do?
Yeah, they're like the
Different from
Malcolm
those in
X
Philly?
ones.
Okay, so
They're like the ones.
Malcolm was fine though.
Oh, no,
Period.
Malcolm was very fine, but they're like the ones that converted through
You
prison.
said you would
Okay.
put a hijab on for Kevin Gates. Let us not forget.
By the way, that was entertainment. But my problem is, and I think this is why
Kevin Gates got somebody else now, though. So I don't know if he's.
Hold on, let me see who I
Kevin
would do it
Gates
for.
can have. That's the thing. Muslims can have multiple wives.
I don't know. What
Bitch,
you
if I
would say
started wearing a
about
burqa,
that.
I'd have my ass out. Something
Period.
gotta be balanced.
Your face is out. Your hands will be out.
You gotta learn how to do your makeup once you get
Period.
Muslim.
Baby, makeup down, face
What the
beat.
fuck?
I
Bro,
can't do
we
it.
had a tour once. We had a show on tour once where a Muslim girl walked in the door. And I didn't know, because you book a makeup artist, you don't really know what they look like. This bitch came to my hotel room. I said, I know this shit gonna be good. Girl, go ahead. Get the lashes out, because I know you got them. Shit.
You said that it's gonna be good.
And by the way, I would love one of you little Eastie baddies to come in here and we could do anonymous. Tell us how you be hoes. Because my man was telling me when he was ramping in the streets, he was like, I fucked all them hoes in the hijab.
Damn.
He said they was
How
ready
he
to throw.
get them?
Right.
Honestly, I think it's like, he's like, yeah, they are religious, but like, they be wanting to fuck. He's like, I'm never there first. He's like, they just be ready to go. He said they all be everyday people. I'm pointing at the bitches, sorry.
Oh, I thought we was pointing at Wolf. I was like, is it Wolf?
I was like,
My bad, Wolf. Not only is he from Dallas and a cowboy fan,
You
but
hoes.
he has people with hijab.
Oh, God.
I can't keep up.
Okay, now we're going to get into poetry.
Okay.
This is where you're going to guess a song lyric. Mandy, don't guess it. You're going to know from the first word I say.
okay.
Danielle, this is for you.
Don't
This
shame
is
me.
almost too damn easy.
Okay.
I'm trying to pull like a verse from it that you may not get. Slow head, show me so much love. The best head comes from a thug. The dick good, thick, big and long. Slow thumping till the crack of dawn.
Oh, damn
On the X, making faces and stuff.
it. Girl, what?
Through the night, making so much love. Dead sleep when the sun comes up. You still ain't getting it? Well,
I bet you I got it in my mind. Go.
so lick it now. Lick it good.
Lick
Yes.
this pussy just like
Like
you
you
should.
should.
Keep going.
Now, I don't know the name of the song, but I know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
Right now, lick it good.
Lick
Lick
it in my mind.
Lick this pussy just like you should.
It was just on a commercial.
Now we get
My
to
neck,
anatomy.
my back was just on a commercial.
Yes.
What commercial?
It was on some commercial I walked before I walked.
You know what's
in.
crazy? You know what's
You know
crazy?
they whitewash.
She said that song keep her paid.
Yes.
The way they sample and put that song every month.
And it was about a gym or something. Like,
Wait, what?
yeah, you know how they put the commercials and they'll take the song and then
They remix it and do
yes.
it.
And she was like, all the women out there get ready to go to the gym. I was like, what the fuck? And then you hear the beat in the background. I just walked out like, I
Wait,
don't
you
have
live
time
in
for this.
you live in LA? This was
First of all,
something
this
in
is
LA.
around the corner in New York. This is
Oh,
not-
She said
okay.
This is in your town.
This is your town. This is New
Using
York.
my neck, my back for a gym is fun tea.
I mean, I do.
I said, well, honey, get your bread. Get
I
your
know
bread.
that's right.
So let's talk about it. Let's do some myth busting. Tell us a little bit about some of the people you've interacted with and maybe some of the craziest misconceptions you've heard when they've come to you for HIV prevention and help, or maybe just being confused around their status. Like, I just kind of want to get into what you do and the people you've encountered with your work.
I've done a little bit of everything. So I started out wanting to understand more about how HIV affected Black women specifically. I was in a class once and this instructor was talking about how Black women are disproportionately affected by HIV. And I'm like, why? Is it something that we do that makes us more prone to it? Is it biological? Is it genetic? What is it? And so, girl, I started to unpack all of the things, both social, structural, policy related. So I started to volunteer on a mobile testing unit. And so mobile testing units before they were not a thing where you would go to like homeless encampments, college campuses, anywhere you could drive, we would pull up, pop the tent, be outside, and then people would just come up to us and ask us for an HIV test.
I don't see them as often anymore.
No, I think so. So some,
Maybe funding.
it could be funding. I think part of it's funding. Part of it is that people who are in positions of power believe that it's more practical for someone to walk into a clinic than walk to a corner where I can hop on a
In my
mobile.
early 20s, I was getting tested, I'd say annually, like that 19 to 24 age.
Yep.
I was getting tested whenever I went to a doctor, right?
Mhm.
But HIV specific testing was always a bust.
Always.
Actually, always a bust. Like, it was
Mhm.
almost like, oh, one will pop up, but that's when I'll know. Like, that was really just me. You know what I
Versus
mean?
in community, you can go on a van with people who are trained in sexual health, who can administer you a test, give you results in 20 or 40 or 1 minute, and you're about
Yeah,
to
I'm going to need that 1 minute.
You don't have to go in and check in with somebody at the front desk who got an attitude because they're at work, or wait 37 million minutes to see a provider. Boom, they swab your mouth, poke your finger, and you
Yep.
are out.
The
Out.
poking of the finger, I remember even getting it done as early as high school.
Mhm.
Because I used to be able to get out of class for the blood drives, but in order to be a part of the blood drive, it would
Yep.
it would be the same thing.
School-based health centers, you can go right to the back, boop, boop, and they can't tell you. You can't walk off campus to go to a school-based health center. It's part of.
They can't tell you?
Mm-mm.
So one of my craziest tests I ever had was during a music festival. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. And shout out to Vinny. I always remember his reaction. I was 21 maybe. Got on this bus. I don't know what they was giving out. They must have been giving out something, because why else was I wearing a tutu and getting an HIV test?
Damn,
I was probably
an
fucked up.
incentive.
They might have tested me for drugs and HIV.
But where were you going with the tutu, though?
I was at a
As an
rave.
aside.
I was at
Okay,
a music
okay.
festival.
Okay.
So when he saw me getting on the bus and I came off, I was like, I have to wait 20 minutes. He goes, but what if you have it? Why would you do this to us? We're trying to have a good time. And I was like, shit.
Oh my God.
No, but he was right.
Not okay, bitch, go get your sexual health together.
Come on, think about it. You had a concert and he's like, bitch, now what if you got it? We finna leave. We paid $400 for this
Oh my
weekend.
God.
And I was like,
thank
yo,
you.
this is gonna ruin
And you
the
shouted
moment.
him out?
Oh, Vinny's our tour manager too.
Okay.
I'm telling you,
Thanks, Vinny.
I stood there. We were waiting, and the guy was like, sorry, it's taking too long. Now he's looking at me, and he was like, bitch, you really did this to us. Y'all, we are sitting there with 4 other friends. When the guy came off the bus, they shared our results with us on site. It was like, yeah.
Isn't that great where you can get your results? And then if you would have tested positive, you would have been
Now,
connected
bitch,
to
they
care
would put me back on that
immediately.
bus.
You would have been connected to care.
Now, tell me one of the craziest stories you've heard, or one of even something that is a little bit dark or sad, whether it be a married woman, something like that you found out had HIV and had to tell.
I was downtown Skid Row in
Wow.
LA. And
I already know this about to go.
oh yeah. So you see some of the most disparaging human conditions that you've ever seen. And we were downtown Skid Row, and there was this guy, I'll never forget, it was the first preliminary positive result I've ever had to give. And you're in Skid Row, it's a bunch of tents, people are parked at a park, they're just kind of vibing. So I found this guy, he came on, we were doing like $20 subway cards. He got his test, and you have to find the person and administer the test result, but you bring them back on the van, and then you connect them to care as best you can. But before you go back and get that person, you have to have your things in a row. So if they test prelim positive, you want to be in a position where you're not fumbling, looking for resources. You have your care plan lined up so that person is immediately warm-handed off to an HIV care specialist so that they can take further test results and then get in care. So I found this man, and he was like just standing on the street, and a bunch of guys, and it's already awkward. They know you work on the HIV bus.
Right.
So you're going back down and interrupting this group of guys vibing. And you're like, can I talk to you for a minute? And so everybody looking at him, and so it's awkward. So you're automatically putting him in a position to make people in his circle wonder. That could be dangerous for someone who lives on the street.
Oh.
You feel what I'm saying?
I would have never have thought of that.
Oh, absolutely. So you're interrupting this social dynamic and asking him to come back to the test. Why? People are going to ask why. So I felt that I had put him in harm's way by giving his result the way I gave it. He didn't wait at the mobile unit, so I have to go find him. He had already tested prelim positive. So my responsibility is to connect him to care immediately so that he can get on HIV meds, get his virus suppressed, and then get access to any other social services that he may have needed.
So how do the meds work? Because I want to talk about specifically PrEP and the meds, because
they work the same way. So for people who are living with HIV, it interrupts the ability of the HIV virus to replicate.
You take it daily, right?
It could be daily, or if you're taking a shot, it could be less frequent than daily.
Okay.
It can be monthly, quarterly, 6 months. The science is moving at rapid pace.
Because we just know Magic Johnson, and everybody always used to say he must be rich. He must have the thing to make you get rid of it. How did he
Absolutely
live
not.
this long?
Magic was just in D.C. the other day at the largest HIV conference domestically. He was on the stage saying that he takes his HIV meds like everybody else who's diagnosed with HIV.
And what exactly is, we keep saying prep, prep, prep. What is it? Is it a shot? Is it pills?
It's both. It's both. And depending on your sex assigned at birth, you have access to different options of PrEP.
Now, the girlfriends episode about being undetectable.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that. Can you bring back that episode, the HIV conversation, and can we relive that moment with you?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about it.
So you're talking about where she was using a knife and then she bled and everybody was like, and it's like, I was sitting there like, girl, get a grip. And so I have nieces who are like my babies. I have, to know me is to know how I am about my family. So we were watching this episode. So I oriented them to like 90s sitcoms. And so we would like Netflix and just kind of vibe out. So there was this one episode, and they all know
they
what I
pulled
did.
that episode, right?
I don't give a damn. You can find it anywhere.
Wait,
Yeah,
did
but
they really?
A lot of it's still. I know a lot of
Because Girlfriends on Netflix.
well, a lot of
It is,
episodes from
but-
the '90s that had like
Mhm.
problematic things. Because we now are in a very,
But they can
sensitive.
find anything.
They can find
They
it,
can
but
find
a lot of episodes around certain topics and just how it was handled.
Mhm.
I want to say I thought it was
well, we're going to find that clip so y'all can see it today.
Find it.
So
Find it.
with the whole slicing thing, etc.,
Mhm.
how does transmission work outside of sex?
So HIV transmission, we talked about yesterday, right? It's spread 5 different ways. 2 from him, 2 from her when you share. And so if there is a biological fluid that is being exchanged, then there's a possibility of HIV transmission. It can be a greater possibility or a lesser possibility.
So what are the 2 from him, 2 from her?
Semen, pre-cum.
Semen,
Okay.
pre-cum,
That's
blood.
him.
That's him. Blood is one you share.
Okay,
Everybody's got blood.
right.
And then her, vaginal secretions, breast milk.
Oh, got it.
2
Everyone.
from him, 2 from her, 1 you share.
And so not from spit at all.
We had this conversation.
I know, but I'm bringing it on here because I thought that spit at one point was.
Yeah.
So, can I swallow semen and that person has HIV? I'm now at risk.
Are they undetectable? Risk for what? Okay, so you have to qualify, not risk, but possibility. Risk is a very stigmatizing word.
Okay.
So what's the possibility of what?
Getting
Contracting
HIV
HIV?
Getting HIV from swallowing
orally. Yes.
from swallowing semen.
Yeah.
But you just looked up and you Googled or you used your friend chat. And what did chat say about HIV or other STIs in the throat?
It does say you could get HIV there.
It's a possibility.
Okay. So
You need to consult a medical provider.
okay. Now, what is the number one way men and women, heterosexual couples, are contracting HIV?
Do sexual contact, penetrative sex, unprotected. And partners could potentially be unaware of one's status, and one person could not be virally suppressed. So
Is
back
it
to
through
this-
cuts? It's not through a cut. You're saying it's secretion. I feel like we always thought it was a viral blood disease growing up. So it's like, oh, and that's why anal sex made so much sense. Oh, of course, because anal tearing. So men and women having vaginal penetrative sex.
But you missed one point though.
Yeah.
Let's take us back to this U equals U or undetectable equals untransmittable. So if my virus is suppressed, I have virtually no possibility of transmitting HIV to someone else.
Now, if it's not,
Then there is the possibility, right? So if absent this unsuppressed viral load, anal tearing means what? You address a different issue. It could be related to size, it could be related to technique, it could be related to activity. So it isn't anal sex that increases possibility for HIV possibility. It's the undiagnosed and untreated, virally not suppressed HIV that could create the issue. It's not the sex act itself at all.
Damn.
It could be through vaginal sex. It could be through anal sex, whatever type of sex you want to have. We want to encourage people to do all of the things.
Do all of
including getting tested, taking PrEP if you want to take it, but taking your meds as prescribed if you are someone who is diagnosed to reduce that risk of transmission of HIV to your sexual partners.
Noted.
It's about being aware, not someone, we don't want to lay the blame at the feet of someone living with HIV, regardless. Right. You and I had this conversation about a week ago. It's about empowerment, knowing your status, and then taking the necessary steps to protect yourself thereafter to the best of your ability.
Is there anything you'd want to leave our listeners with who may not be, I don't know, just in the know on where to get PrEP, don't feel like they've got community enough to discuss this with?
And that's sad. That blows me sometimes, because I know we talk from a place of privilege. Knowledge is power. We know about PrEP. We know about all the things. We feel empowered to advocate for our sexual health, but some women are not. Some women are not. I've heard stories from women who are in abusive relationships, who have partners who do horrible things to them sexually that they don't always have control over. But you want to encourage people to find a community and answer your DMs.
Okay, will do.
Answer
Find a
them
community.
DMs.
And also, is there any website just for where someone in the country can figure out how to get it done, where to get it done, just get more info?
So let me try to think. There are tons of different resources. Planned Parenthood, as you mentioned, I know you love a good Planned Parenthood. So Planned Parenthood has resources.
To me, it's just the easiest. I will say that. Planned Parenthood is the most easiest.
And your local state health department.
Lord. It depends on where you live.
Depends on where you live.
Depends on where you live. But also, some pharmaceutical companies have amazing websites related to the drugs that they manufacture.
Okay.
But I would start with a good Instagram of Planned Parenthood. They have diagrams. They have memes. They have videos, testimonials.
They are not just the abortion place, y'all. Okay? They're the birth control place. They're the HIV prevention place. Just go over there.
Gender affirming care place.
Oh, great.
How about that?
There might be a little bit of crazies outside with the signs. I give them a nice little
girl walk right past them and do your business.
Jesus loves you as well, bitch. Sorry he sent you out here today with the whole spiel.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today and having this conversation.
Thanks for having me.
And hopefully we encouraged and urged you and gave you the zhuzh to go and get tested, because it's not as scary as y'all goddamn think.
What are you waiting? It is.
We're all human. Sometimes we're afraid of the things.
I don't care. I'm telling everybody get tested. Them 48 hours. Fuck. I can't have a good time.
It's definitely not 48 hours anymore.
Oh, it ain't.
I'd be like, I'm not drinking. What
and HIV is immediate.
That's correct.
HIV,
it's definitely not 48 hours.
I was still waiting for the provider, and my HIV result was in my mind.
Oh, another website I just got sent, by the way, healthysexual.com for a little bit of help. It's just a website y'all can jump on.
Period.
Well, thank you guys so much. And if you guys want bonus content, Horrible Decisions is over on Patreon. So go to patreon.com/Horrible Decisions. And if you haven't yet, make sure you get our book, No Holds Barred, A Dual Manifesto of Sexual Exploration and Power.
Great read.
Available now wherever you get books. Thank y'all.
Thanks, Danielle.
And thank you guys for tuning in to yet another episode of Decisions. Don't go anywhere. We had a great time speaking to Dr. Danielle. We are even more excited to introduce our next conversation with R&B legend Raheem DeVaughn. He is known for his soulful, love-centered R&B, but what a lot of people do not realize is how deeply involved he is in his advocacy, especially around HIV prevention. Raheem has been doing the work of educating Black men about the importance of getting tested, knowing their status, and having real, honest conversations about sexual health. He's also been using his platform to spread awareness around PrEP, the HIV prevention medication, and to normalize brothers taking control of their health without shame or stigma. We are really excited to continue this conversation. And without further ado, please enjoy our conversation with Raheem DeVaughn.
Hey, everybody. Here we are with Raheem DeVaughn. We are out of the studio in person, and we just had to join, because y'all know I love niggas with dreads. So that's really singer-songwriters. But if you've never heard of them, here is what I pulled up on Google. Raheem DeVaughn is an American R&B singer, songwriter, a Taurus known for smooth vocals and romantic themes. you want to know what ChatGPT's got for you, Raheem? Influenced by his father's music and his mother's vinyl collection from the DMV, and also a radio personality, philanthropic. We love all of that. I almost couldn't say that word. I got braces. But everybody, welcome Raheem. Yay.
Hey,
Peace,
Raheem.
what's going on?
Can I also say, shout out to anyone that had a vinyl collection, because I thought that was going to be like my little cheap hobby I did. Had no clue them motherfuckers were like $60 to $80 a piece. That is an expensive hobby.
Maybe it wasn't back then. Was it that expensive back then?
No, back then I thought they were 10 cents. I thought I was about to get vinyls for 10 cents, honestly.
Are you a vinyl?
Everything costs more now.
But vinyl niggas got an aesthetic. Like when you go in somebody's house and they got vinyls, I'd be like, wow, he is so like deep.
Yeah, check out my vinyl, baby. It's my
inflation has hit the vinyls. Well, Raheem, really excited to have you. We're going to be talking about a lot of things today. But what we're really excited to have the conversation with you about is you being an advocate for PrEP and continuing the conversation specifically as a heterosexual Black man and the conversation around PrEP. So I guess before we start, can we talk about how you got involved with this specific campaign and why it's so important for you to talk about it?
For sure. Well, I started my foundation, the Love Life Foundation, back in 2012. So one of our major initiatives has always been HIV awareness, and among other things, domestic violence and textbook scholarships for the youth, for kids, in my area here in the DMV. So I always been doing things as it relates to community. But how I found out about PrEP was my primary care physician, who I've had for a few years now. At the time, a little after COVID, I was searching for a new doctor. Stumbled upon Dr. Hodge, who's out here in my area in the DMV. And one of the first things probably he asked me, leading into the conversation, as we were talking about sexual health, and he's drawing my blood and doing the first physical, primary care physical. We getting acquainted with each other. He says, "Are you on PrEP?" And I said no. And at the time, I mean, I want to say maybe I had heard about that there was a medication, but didn't quite know what it was. And with all the different types of stigmas out, you hear all these different things. So, but it was the first time that I had a primary care doctor, or would they just blatantly just like straight up asked, and he went on to tell me about statistically what's going on in DC and how HIV was back on the rise. He asked if I was married. He asked a lot of questions, and he strongly suggested me trying it. I quickly asked about the side effects. You know what I mean? I don't consider myself like outside, but if you're outside, you're outside. Think about HIV is that anybody can be HIV possible. Everybody's HIV possible, meaning if you don't do the proper things, had to get tested regularly, had to sexual health conversations you need to have with your partner, like all of these things. So I said I'll try it. I've been on it ever since.
Raheem, one moment. The question will not leave my head, and I have to ask you, and it's going to be completely ignorant. Yeah. I lean into my ignorance because I have questions that maybe other people are asking.
Well, lean with it.
So did your primary care physician tell you or ask you or educate you on PrEP just because you were in a city with high rates like DC? Or did they ask you first, hey, are you having sex with men? To my knowledge, PrEP for a long time was only offered to men having sex with other men. So not to, super ask you about your sexuality, but how did your primary care physician straight up ask you without knowing your sexual history?
No, he definitely asked my sexual history. Like, you know what I mean? You got to get a prostate check and a physical. You got all the things. So, I was just as honest and transparent as I wanted to be, we got HIPAA law, all that kind of thing. So I didn't feel uncomfortable, and of course it wasn't like that. It had been my first physical or visit to a doctor's office, you know what I mean? But I think it was purely out of, just like genuine concern and sexual health conversations, you know what I mean? That that he was letting me know, like, hey, there's something out here that that can kill you, and there's something out here that can
Save you.
be a great it can save you, be a preventative measure. Like it's not the green light to go raw dogging it. You know
It's
what I
not.
mean? Like just not at all.
I will tell y'all, like,
Because obviously it's a long list of other things that are out there that we don't want, STIs and stuff like that. So I mean, he really broke it down. He made me feel very comfortable to have a conversation. Me in
I love that.
particular, I was looking for a black doctor. This is me in particular. You know what I mean? At the time, and we immediately like hit it off and had a and I didn't feel like it was coming from a place of like who I am or what I do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I've been, being a public figure I won't say annoying, but I've been in places where like I'm not trying to dap you up in the restroom, homie, or literally getting an HIV test, and it's like, can I get an autograph? And I'm like,
That's crazy.
are you fucking kidding me?
I mean,
That's
honestly,
crazy.
it'd be like, hey, if you get one
you
too,
know? Yes. So yeah. Again, Dr. Hodges, he's amazing. I did have a lot of questions. I too have heard, and now that I know what I know, that yeah, like this is not HIV is not a LGBTQ thing. HIV is a global
yep,
um,
epidemic, yeah.
epidemic that is back on the rise. I come from an era where there was a lot of messaging, you know, and you just don't see that anymore. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
you can, there are, there are children. My oldest son is 20. You know what I mean? So his brother right behind him is 17. So they're for there are folks out here that don't know what HIV is, which is crazy.
I really wanted to tell y'all, you just had me thinking of this. I completely wanted to share this story, but forgot this was the perfect time. Last week, I got tested, and for some reason, I was nervous because you cannot fuck for a year and still be nervous. And the doctor saw me being nervous, and she goes, "Have you heard about PrEP?" I said, "Yes, I have, sister." And you know what? I appreciate you saying that. I don't know what I'm giving off. And just how Mandy asked you, did the doctor assume you might have been gay or sleep with men? I was starting to think to myself, because we all have that stigma, no matter who we are, even though we're all advocates. I was like, does she think I'm a hoe? Or she just saying it because I'm nervous? And it's like, we actually have to get over, and it's me here, right? Wanting to tell everybody to get on this thing. But I was also like, damn, I can't believe that even came into my brain. So I can't imagine those of you listening that are like maybe feeling a little pressured to get on PrEP or feeling like you don't need it because you ain't out here. But it's the pool, the dating pool that we're in, right? You could be with one person, but when rates are as high as they are, that one person can be affected. But speaking of one person, I wanted to play a little icebreaker game with you. Mandy and I love to do this with our guests, and I feel like you're going to have some good answers. So
All right,
we're going to
cool.
play Smash or Pass, but it's
Smash.
but it's going to be even out. So it's even out to honesty, their past, sex, and long distance relationships. Okay. So she's a 10, but you find out by scrolling on her IG before the date that she's been to a bunch of your shows before, even though she says she's never heard your music. You gonna smash or pass?
I'm probably going pass.
And she's a 10.
Man, depending on what she looked like.
Nah, I'm a pass because
He said she's a liar out the gate.
She's a 10
now I
though.
mean, what, but so you got to factor in the lying. That seems like why lie about something like that?
Okay.
Lie about the little things, lie about the
That's
big
fair. That's fair.
things.
Okay, for the
And then there's a lot of other things that come into play, like what's the agenda, like
to get your money.
what's the alternative?
Okay. For the past. She's a 10, but 5 years ago on Twitter, she said, damn, Donald Trump really starting a new wave. I'm in.
5 years ago,
5 years ago.
meaning like meaning like we're already together, and then like one day I stumble upon an old.
You didn't smash yet.
An old tweet.
But you saw the tweet.
I ain't
before
smash it.
So you gonna smash or pass based on the tweet? It was 5 years ago though.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably pass.
Man, shut your ass. I'm smashing and we're having a conversation and debate.
Depending how fine you are,
I mean,
I'm
I
probably gonna
mean,
let it go.
let me say this. It ain't gonna be it wouldn't be just upon that I'm gonna base my decision on either. So there's a few other dynamics that are involved, but I don't, maybe be there. How about this? I smash and I'm good and I'm there for a good time.
Not a long time.
Because why else are you on
Oh.
trip? Okay. All right, hold on. She's a 10. Your dream celebrity crush. You've been liking all her photos on IG. She says, hey, Raheem, I'm in Australia on set. I can't leave, but I want you to come and see me. Are you going to blindly fly out to smash?
Oh, hell no. They got all kind of face recognition. Oh,
Wait, what?
they got all kind of I'm not you said am I flying out off of the
You're not going to Australia to meet your celebrity dream?
Nah.
What?
Not without confirming that it's really
It's their IG
it's
page.
really them.
They're writing you back. Assume they're
We
real.
having this we're having this conversation on IG.
On IG.
Yeah.
You want me to assume they're real though? Like we don't live in an era. We don't live in an era where you can assume anything. You got to fact check everything.
Now, you getting on that $10,000 flight or not?
For sure. For sure. Like depending on what.
I'm
Yeah,
not gonna hold you.
absolutely.
It's my dream celebrity crush.
No, absolutely.
I'll fly to Australia
Yeah,
and back.
there it is.
Man, I'll go to Middle America. What are we talking about, Australia? Bitch, I'll go to fucking Dayton, Ohio. What are we talking about?
I'm thinking Australia is
I'm
like a hike.
confused.
Okay. She's a 10, but, and this is the final one, the sex related. She thinks PrEP is a little gay. Now, do you use that to educate? Do you still?
I'm not. Yeah. So one, I'm not insecure about my sexuality. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So I'm. That's an opportunity to educate. You know what I mean? Like and ironically, I've dated and since being on PrEP, I've had to have a conversation. Hey, I'm on PrEP, and it was it's amazing the amount of people who still think, you know, which is a crazy stigma that it's only for gay people or LGBTQ. But
I can imagine explaining it as a man, like, because even as a woman, I was just telling my boyfriend about it, and he was like, "So, does that mean you have sex with guys that have sex with guys? Like, what does that mean?" And we're open, so we have sex with other people, and the conversation literally went to educating that, especially as someone who goes to sex clubs, who has other partners. It's just like, mind you, and I use condoms with everybody. But boy, do I just not trust anybody. For real, for real. Like, and again, like kind of like you said, HIV is, it's possible for anybody. It doesn't care who it attaches itself to. It literally can be for all of us.
You had a QR code before they could meet you to learn about PrEP?
Yeah, to learn about HIV, to learn about sexual health, to learn about PrEP, to know the statistics of what's going on,
That's so clever.
So yeah. So
I love that you bring that up because like so many people have a negative thought on celebrities who get involved, say with, the voting and elections and getting into politics. I love that you're getting into this space, and we've seen other artists recently talk about PrEP as well. I know Tamar has talked about it, Dua Lipa, Cardi B. I want to ask you, however, though, taking the celebrity out of it, how do you have this conversation with your male counterparts, with your friends? I don't know many other men advocating for this at this moment, celebrity wise or just influencer wise. So I would like to know, how does this conversation start or begin with your male friends? Like, are you also educating them outside of Black women? We know that that's who we're trying to reach, but we also have a lot of Black male listeners here as well. What do those conversations look like?
absolutely having that conversation. I mean, for me, it's it's easy. Most of my male friends, most of my closest inner circle that I can think of, everybody's married.
Hmm.
except for me. You know what I mean? And which by the way, taking it back a step, Dr. Hodge, he mentioned to me when he was telling me about prep, you know, that was one of the things that kind of stood out to me, I think, in that conversation that day, is that he has married couples that are on prep for a number of different reasons as well. So,
Okay.
you know what I mean? So that give you know,
What did he
so
tell you? What did he tell you? Or he didn't tell you?
no, he was just he it was just that he was just telling he was just being like really raw and honest, and just what he's seeing on a day to day. You know what I mean? The fact that you know, people are stepping outside of their relationships. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you know, maybe they what one partner thinks is a monogamous relationship while living a poly lifestyle. Like, just
Right.
so many things, not being honest about their partners, about, you know, their sexual health or what it is they're into. You know what I mean? Um,
Raheem,
uh,
when you talk to your homeboys, and we know homies share like when they have side chicks or when they're stepping out, like are those moments that you would bring up prep to your friends? Like again, like I know the importance of bringing this to public platforms and going on tour with you, but I think it's important also to talk about how these conversations can be had in the group chat or over
yeah,
a spades game or at a
yeah.
cookout. Like how are you bringing this into your personal life?
Absolutely. I mean, for me, like, again, it's an easy conversation because I'm not, you know, it's if any conversation that can save, you know, my life, my homie's life, like, I'm gonna have a conversation, right? But um, it, I had a conversation with my 20-year-old son and my 17-year-old in particular. You know what I mean?
Tell me how that went.
You know, I mean, we're out, and I mean, I'm one of those dads. It's like, we have like warped sense of humor anyway. So that allows us to be able to kind of like tie into, you know, the conversations about sex. I mean, I think it never be. I don't know if it ever becomes comfortable for your kid to like want to talk to you about like what they got going on sexually,
Right.
or, you know, dating, you know what I mean, and coming to you for advice here and there. But I like to always, I like for them to always know that the door's open to have the conversations, you know. So, you know, my oldest, he's in the military, he's an airman stationed out in Arizona. So I know, like, I'm pretty certain he's, you know what I'm
No,
saying,
no,
he
you
getting
no.
some.
My sister and
I
my
know.
brother are Army veterans.
Yeah, I know he gets some
And
sticky icky icky, and yeah,
boy, do they
and
go on dates.
I've been on a base or two in a lifetime.
Uh, They be getting down. Oh, y'all want to hear something crazy? We had a risky dinner that I be doing with Gilead, and y'all probably seen it. It's the whole red thing. So one of the women at the dinner starts the conversation by saying, yo, like, I can't have children anymore due to a sexually transmitted infection I had. So I'm telling y'all, make sure you protect yourselves. This is like first 5 minutes of the dinner, right? So everybody judging her. Hour later, we start getting to the real thing. She's like, I was on the base with my husband. You got to get tested to even, obviously, get into the military. She said while being there, her man was such a hoe. She found out when she got her next annual that he ended up giving her something. And because she wasn't able to check, because, like, you know, they were busy, they were doing their thing, they're not getting tested as often, she literally, they had to remove her fallopian tubes. And she
Mm.
said to me and the rest of the women at this dinner, like, y'all are married at this table, not realizing that this protective conversation also has to do with you. It ain't just me. It ain't just the other single bitches here. Like, we're all included in this. And when you think about how so many people in relationships feel safer, like, oh, I'm not on them streets no more. I'm good. Like, this conversation is for everybody, not just the three of us who are outside.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
Like, sometimes Mandy and I are talking about things, our open relationships and the fun, crazy things we do. And I really feel like people be listening to us, or, you know, a mean comment saying like, oh, they wild, they this. I'm not doing it. I'm not putting myself at risk. That man be outside with his friends, huh? Like, it's the same.
yeah. And that was and that was and you know, and that was the conversation, you know, that I had with the boys. It was just like, hey, just so you know, there's something out here called HIV that can become
Yeah.
AIDS. You know what I mean? And it
Yeah.
can kill you. And, you know, it was interesting because they don't. It's not being talked about, and, you know, amongst them and their crews and their age bracket. You know what I mean? So,
Raheem, are you single or are you dating?
um,
Or single dating or
I,
look, that's the same thing.
I'm
I
somewhere.
I
You
I,
I,
I, I only ask because I want to know how you bring this conversation to any of your partners. Um, as a man, how do you
yeah,
say, let's get tested together? Do you have any stories of how that conversation happens while dating?
I've dated and had. I've been in multiple situations where I've dated and where we sat down and like got tested, like before we did whatever we did,
Before
like you know what I
sex?
mean. So I've been in like literally, you know what I
Oh yeah,
mean, like
tell us that little process.
and the first time it was awkward for me, but it was refreshing though. You know what
Okay.
I mean? Because of course there's like a woo side that happens like after the fact, right? And then I can't deny, like, there's a period where you're waiting for the results. You're sitting there, you're waiting for the results with your partner, and you're like, oh shit, what if it comes back? What if it comes back
Wait, are you
positive?
talking about an at-home test?
Yeah, at-home test.
Tell us about it. Tell us
At-home
how.
test.
Set the
Yeah,
scene. Bring us back to the
yeah,
moment.
at-home test. Yeah, so at-home test. And no, I definitely was 17 with the at-home test. You know what I mean?
No,
It's, I mean,
that's a mature. That's
yeah,
very mature.
yeah.
Love it for you.
This definitely back in it. This is definitely within the next. We could say the last decade. You know what I mean, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and
And where are you getting these at-home tests? Let's
I mean,
for anyone
they got
wanting
they
to do the
they
same
got
as you.
they got at-home tests everywhere. CBS.
He
You
said,
know,
go
same,
on Amazon.
same place you go, but Amazon, they do home delivery. Same place you go, same place you go, to get a pack of Magnum
Now,
XLs,
just to
you
give y'all
know.
the brand, the ones that I've used are Aura Quick, and they're like about
Okay,
$40, I think, at Dwayne Reed. I know like Quest
okay.
has some, but the ones that I've seen in the store is Aura Quick, and it's quick, and it's not even blood; it's spit.
So yeah, so there's that period of time where you're like, what if my test come back positive? Oh shit, what if her test comes back positive? You know what I mean? Like, you know, um, but yeah, I mean, after the
Okay,
first,
wait. Now, what would you do if the test did come back positive?
you know
Because
what?
you won't.
I mean, the
No,
human being,
not his test, but the other person's
Right, right.
test. Yeah.
that's
What
got
would
to
you
be,
do?
me. I'm a human being, so the first thing I'm gonna do is try to be consoling, or I'm probably gonna,
It's gonna be a
and we
bad
talking
thing.
like this. Listen, yeah. I mean, obviously, they just got some news that is like
Life
mind
changing.
bending, right? Life
Yeah.
changing, right? Do I just burn up the road and just leave? Like, absolutely not. Like, I'm gonna, on a serious note, I'm gonna be as helpful as I can be, and I'm assuming like if this is somebody that I don't know that well, right? And maybe this is our first time. Maybe we've been hanging out, we've been on a few dates, whatever, and we decided that we about to be intimate, and then we get that news. Like, I'm not gonna just like just roll out. Like, I'm gonna try
I
my
love that.
with now I got, and now of course I got a cheat code advantage that I can call somebody literally from Gilead, or or somebody from my team. I can call and say like, hey, in confidentiality, I have a friend, and it's try to be there, like, that's the, I would imagine that
And
that would be
luckily,
like,
it's not
I can
addictive things,
imagine.
right? Because at the end of the day, there's a path of health forward, regardless of your HIV status. Like, there's prevention. You're already on PrEP. You know what I mean? Like condoms. Like the thing I think that people don't understand when we're all trying to force them to get tested. I feel like sometimes I'm screaming it is because the only problem is not knowing. If you have it, you can control it. You get on medicine. You live life easy. But
Not only that, we see Magic Johnson and Cookie.
Yeah, yeah.
Baby, you know what I mean? So
But
there's
this is
also a path
but
for relationship
yup.
and romantic partnership and all of these things, with medication and things
Right.
as well.
but respectfully though, when we talk about Magic Johnson and Cookie, we talking about a different generation. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's a whole nother set of demographics of, from what 14 to 28 that they may not either they may not know, or they don't care. You know,
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I think at one point, especially seeing how long Magic Johnson has lived, there was quite a bit of time or an era where the conversation around HIV literally ceased to exist. It's almost like they thought it just disappeared.
Nah, I thought he was
Yeah.
lying.
So I can
We were
definitely,
dumb back then. I was just like, ain't no way he paid somebody. Like he got the magic.
well, even I would say the generation under us, I think we definitely had enough education to know how it was. I actually lost an aunt to the virus. And so, you know, it's interesting just now seeing that the conversation is coming back to the front, which I think is very important. Because you're right, Raheem. I do think like this younger generation right now just isn't having the conversation. And even though they're having less sex, I think with the sensationalizing of raw sex, I think these conversations go hand in hand for sure.
It makes for a very dangerous time. You know, you think when you think about where we are, you know, on this political climate, you think about um what's what is potentially about to happen in terms of like with insurance going up and
Uh,
healthcare and like all of
and
these
the
things.
defunding of
It's
Planned
like
Parenthood,
it's
all
like
of that.
it's like the perfect storm. You know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
do want to
So
also remind you guys that we did, in fact, have an episode. This was maybe within our first year. We did have an episode where someone was born with HIV. So I'm going to make sure to link that episode in the description here. But we spoke to someone who literally their mother had it and contracted it prior to being pregnant. And they were born with HIV. So I'll be sure to link that episode as well in the description of this bio. Well, Raheem, I do want to thank you so much for having this conversation with us. I guess if you could leave with a final word, I would love to know your final thoughts to getting tested and also just speaking to our male listeners as well.
again, you know, anybody is HIV possible. You know what I mean? So, have the conversations you need to have. You know, learn about PrEP. You know, see if it's for you. Talk to your primary care physician about it. Educate yourself about it on it, and see if it's for you. And then of course for like all the things that we've been talking about, you can go to Healthy Sexual or Healthy Sexuals with the s.com. To get more information. It's something that we continue to fight and create awareness about. I thank y'all for having me on the platform. I look forward to coming back and having more of a raw conversation
Yes,
at
raw
another
but
time.
protected. Raw but protected, okay?
Raw but protected.
Ready? Thank you so very much. And guys, we will be putting all of the resources and links in the description of this episode. Make sure you also join us over on patreon.com/horrible decisions, where we're going to continue the conversation, but also provide you with those links and resources so that you can educate yourself on PrEP. The year is almost over, but you definitely want to go into 2026 knowing your status. So make sure you go ahead and set up those appointments to get tested. We highly encourage it. And we want to thank you guys for being educated and edutained while listening to this episode. Thank you so much. And we will see you next week. If you are a patron member, that's right, go on over to patreon.com/horrible decisions. That's where you can get all of the X-rated, raunchy discussions about sex. You've been married for 8 years, you have kids, and you said, since the kids, you've been super vanilla. Now, I would, if we were live, ask you the questions. Are you super vanilla when sex is had when the kids are home? Or is it vanilla all the time, even when the kids are out? Because I do wonder if it's been super vanilla, I'm wondering if it's because there is any sort of anxiety or embarrassment that she may feel with the potential of the kids hearing you guys in the bedroom, walking in on you guys. And there's a level of anxiety about those things that have her retreating, right? I also wonder if after the kids, she possibly doesn't feel as confident about her body as she once did. I also wonder if with the kids, not sure if she works, but I wonder if she's just tired. There's so many reasons as to why she possibly went from 4 to 5 times a week with sex to now once every 10 days, but also maybe going from a little bit more exciting in the bedroom to super vanilla. Have you had those conversations? That's first. If you have, my advice for this would be to kind of try to fix or help her become more confident in those problems. Here's one. First off, question, have you expressed that you need more sex? Second question, have you expressed that you don't like the vanilla sex? Those are the 2 things that you need to come to her and discuss. Now, in terms of the vanilla sex, easy fix. You have to take it into your own hands, sir. And what that looks like? Effort. Just a little bit of effort. What does effort look like? Calling your mama-in-law or your mama, or your daddy-in-law or your daddy, or your brother or your sister-in-law or your brother-in-law. Finding a family member to step in, to come in and watch them goddamn kids, to give you guys a break to get away from the kids. Now, financially, does it look like you being able to take her on a staycation? Love to say staycation because I understand flights, money, sometimes you can't get away. But hotel sex always hits, bruh. You ain't got to worry about cleaning up. It becomes exciting if a goddamn stranger hear you instead of the kids. And it just allows you to have some fun, right? So when I say take the matter into your own hands, get somebody to watch them goddamn kids. Now, they can leave the house or y'all can stay in the house. Y'all can stay, if y'all stay in the house, be intentional. Get some good smelling candles. Get her some sexy lingerie. And that's the thing too, right? When a woman doesn't feel kind of confident, sometimes just getting out of her own clothes doesn't make her exciting. Buy her something sexy. And when she puts it on, tell her you want her to put it on. Sometimes you need to affirm your woman. When I say this, I mean, say you bought her something. First off, gift. I'm about to teach you how to hit all the goddamn love languages. So whether she ranks them in an ascending, descending order, I'm going to have you hit all of them. All right? So acts of service is you setting up for them kids to get watched and get taken care of and get fed by somebody else. That is an act of service. You went ahead and did the job that needed to be done. Acts of service. Second, gift giving. You are buying maybe not only lingerie, but maybe you're taking care of the dinner. You bought her her favorite meal. If she likes sushi, buy her some sushi. When I dated Actor Bay, I remember flying into LA and he ended up having to have a work dinner with his cast. And we had already made the plans. This ended up like getting into our plans and he was like, babe, I cannot get away from this cast dinner. So I'm not going to be able to pick you up from the airport. And, you know, blah, 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 blah. But here's the key to the house, all the things. Y'all, I got to the house, opened the fridge, because the nigga just